Okay, I'll get started. But keep putting your wins in the chat. And then I want you now to, I was just thinking about this morning. I'm like, maybe also put in the chat too, something that you are nervous about for this weekend, whether it's like a family get together, back to school night, or not to back to school night on the weekend, but like a back to school gathering or the last weekend at the clubhouse or whatever it is. Put something in the chat that maybe you're struggling with that maybe we can work through when I get done with my little spiel. And then we can talk through some of those things because I remember in the beginning too, I was always so nervous, like, okay, it's Friday. Now what do I do? Like I was really good Monday through Friday, but tonight I want chips and salsa. So if there's anything that you're thinking that, is a struggle for the weekend, put it in there and we can talk through it. I'm Stephanie Koski. I am from Sarasota, Florida. I am originally from Indiana. I am a wife and a mom of two high school boys. One will be a junior and one's a senior. They are hockey players. They have a lot of energy. They have a lot of spunk. They kind of scare me sometimes, honestly, but they test me. And if you have teens, because now I'm learning that every stage of life is hard. When everyone's like, oh, when they get older, it'll be easier. Like, I have yet to see that. Um, but this summer they've been running a power washing business. And so they've been hustling, they've been knocking door to door. And I'm like so proud of them because I'm like, they grew up watching me and my husband work and get up and we shower and we make the bed and we do the things and they've watched that and now they do that. They don't make the bed, but they're really driven right now. And I'm like, all I can think is that maybe I had a little piece of that. So anyways, it's kind of exciting. I love my summers with them, but like, let's be honest, I'm like, when does school start? And I literally looked at the calendar this morning, so it's next week. But really, they're the reason I am here and the reason that I needed to change. When they were little, I was a different mom. Sorry, summers were different because I was so unhappy with myself and quite frankly, my appearance. In summers, we belonged to this like country club because they had a pool. And I always felt so less than. I really did. And I was like really reflecting on that this morning because I would like watch the other moms and they would like be sitting so comfortably in their chairs and they could sit at these little chairs that they had like lined around the pool. And I was like, "Ah, I want to sit in those chairs. Like I want to cross my legs, like Tara said, and I want to sit in those chairs." And I always just thought, they're enjoying themselves. They're laughing. They're enjoying cocktails and snacks. Like, why can't I be confident? Why can't I walk around in my bathing suit? Why can't I do what they're doing and feel the way that they feel? Why couldn't I just get my ish together and be like them? So I hid in the pool where no one could see my full body with my strong drink, and I numbed the pain of being less than for my kids. I was tired and I was angry and I was irritated so often, which honestly, sometimes I still am. That hasn't fully gone away. But I took it out on them because I just didn't feel good about myself. And I would truly die for my kids, but I wasn't like living the best life for them. I started this program in April of 2022 and I became a coach that September, not because I had it all together, but for the first time I had found something that worked. But let me back up. I didn't get here by chance. I fought for this. I had to. Because my whole life, my entire life, I battled being overweight. And I'm not talking about gaining weight after pregnancies or during college. I mean, I never knew life without it. It was a lifelong battle and one that I was losing every single day. Sorry, I'm like really nervous today and emotional. I'm not sure what's going on, so I apologize for that. I was using food to cope with my job, with raising two boys, with grief, with trauma, with loss, with everything. Food and alcohol, they were my escape. They gave me a way just to not feel. And if I could push those feelings down far enough, maybe they just wouldn't surface. Maybe I could just cover them up. And you can shove some feelings pretty deep, but somehow they always resurface. And I was hiding in shame and I was destroying myself bite by bite. I was working late, sometimes till 2 and 3 in the morning because my job was really demanding. Food was my comfort, and I lived in the loop, like legit loop of I will start tomorrow. I swear I feel that to my bone when I say that because I truly was like the epitome of I'll start tomorrow. I had tried everything, every plan, every pill, every cleanse. I bought a freaking juicer that I was like juicing, and Brandon, my husband, was like, "We already have a juicer in the garage." I'm like, "Ooh, we do." Celery juice, I was drinking it. I loved my juicer because I could juice an apple and I could juice an orange and I could call it healthy. And it was just like a cup of sugar and it was delicious. But I failed at all of those things. And I remember one summer in college, I worked really hard during the summer. And my mom, who's on here, she probably remembers. And I remember I lost 10 pounds and I was like so happy to go back to college, 10 pounds down. Like that felt like a million. And 2 weeks I was back at Purdue and I was back up 15 and I was devastated. And as I got older, this wasn't just about the weight gain anymore. I couldn't buckle an airplane seat. I couldn't sit on the floor. I couldn't tie my shoes. I couldn't wear anything in my closet. And everything I owned was black or a cardigan or a scarf. And I was always out of breath, always sweating, and I always sat on the sidelines. And the hardest part of all of that was I didn't play with my kids. I watched them play with their dad from the porch. Holly, I should have had you share that picture. I have a picture of that. And although I did play with them in the pool, because I was hiding my body from the world, they didn't see it, like, or they didn't know that's what I was doing. I was so used to disappointing myself that I just became numb to it. And I truly believed I would be overweight forever. In 2020, I lost my brother to sepsis. And as many of you know and heard this story before, I'm not going to go into it today, but it was devastating. He was 37, and every single year I relive his death this time of year, every year, for 6 solid weeks of trauma that replays in my mind. And I feel the loss, and I feel the hospital, and I feel the doctors, and I feel my overnight bag that's still in my closet, and the smells, like all of it. And then I grieve him for 10 months of the year. And the easiest thing for me to do would be to bury that with nachos and wine. But something shifted. Something said to me back in April of 2022, you just can't stay here forever. So I went to the Optivia website and I was one of those, click the button, find me a coach. And I just hoped. I hoped that this time it would be different. I hoped I could still change. And I hoped it wasn't too late. And this is where my story really starts, right here, in this exact Zoom room where you all are sitting. In one of these little boxes, I was one of you, and I still am. I sat with my camera off, and I didn't speak, and I didn't ask a question, and I just listened. I needed healing, and I needed help, and I needed hope. And these calls, they were gold. Like they helped me move the needle, and they gave me the language for what I was actually feeling. And they reminded me I wasn't alone. I started to believe again. And I remember watching these women, Kristen Glass and Melissa Tarleton and Holly Anastasio and Lene Rogers, and I thought, these women are like freaking celebrities. But then I thought, if they can do it, then I think I can too. So I kept showing up, and the more I showed up, the more the scale moved, and my hope, it just kept growing. And I'll be real with you. When that Optavia box showed up, I was freaking locked in. I did not go off. I had not one bite, not one lick. And if I accidentally put the peanut butter knife in my mouth, like I spit it out. Like I was like, this is going to happen. I was on a mission. I trusted my coach. I believed in my heart this would work for me, and it did. In total, I've lost 227 pounds. Let that sink in. Not 27, 227. And I lost a whole person. But more than that, I have found myself again. And here's the truth. I didn't understand when I started that it wasn't about the food. Like I literally was like, okay, tell me what to eat. Just tell me what to eat. Like I just was very focused on food. And a lot of my clients are, and a lot of you probably are too. But the feelings are just a starting point. They gave me control. They gave me simple. But it wasn't about the feelings at all. And I honestly, truthfully did not know that for maybe 8, 9, 10 months into my journey. I was just eating the stuff. Just tell me what to do. The program isn't just a diet, it's a roadmap to the life that you actually want, the life that you might be praying for. The habits of health helped me build routines that made healthy choices just automatic. It helped me stop reacting and start leading myself. The habits of health gave me a blueprint, and they taught me how to move my body because I love it. Like I didn't move my body in the beginning because I remember my coach said, sorry, um, you don't have to work out. I'm like, oh, sweet. I'm definitely doing this plan. So I didn't work out, but I did start to move my body more. I was moving around the house, and you might be feeling this too, that energy. And I was doing more laundry, and I was just not so stagnant all the time. It helped me to manage stress without turning to food. I would go to the pantry still because that's a habit I had to break, staring into that pantry. Still catch myself sometimes doing that. And I would think, nope, nothing here for you, and move on. How to improve my sleep and how to stop waiting for motivation and start building discipline. And how to drink water, clear water, every day. And the life book, that's where the real magic happened. The book became my journal, my mirror, my therapist, and the second hand of my coach. It helped me rewrite my story one page at a time. And I learned to ask better questions and I got curious instead of numbing. And I stopped surviving and I started living again. If you don't have those books yet, and I don't think I've done my clients a service of really saying you need the books, like they have them on the Optivia website. You can get them through Amazon, probably discount bookstores. Don't know if I should say all that, but you can get them all different places. But the beauty is now it's on the app. Like you can go down to learn on your app at the bottom and it says habits of health. It's incredible. Like Dr. A just released this. And it's like having him in your pocket all day long. So when you're feeling really unsure of your journey and why am I here and what am I doing, just turn it on and listen. And it doesn't even matter what order, like if you don't remember where you just like click the button. And I remember my coach had told me that just open the book and find a page and just read. Just start. But that is a big part of the program that I feel like we just really need to stress a lot more because that is the reason we're all here, truly, as Dr. A wrote this like magnificent program for us. Some days I would just pick up the book and open it, and it was like, this is what I should read today. It's not about perfection. Yes, I was really on plan and I did not go off, but you don't have to also be perfect. Optimal health is not perfect. Optimal health is making the next best choice. You go off plan, you have the piece of pizza, and you put a bar in your mouth and you carry on with your day and you don't eat a gallon of ice cream and the rest of the pizza. You just keep living in and guiding yourself into optimal health. It's about intention and thinking through those things. And the tools, these will give you the power to create the life that you're really trying to escape from. Now, let me ask you something, and I really want you to think about this. Do you want to lose weight? Like, that's why I signed up. I wanted to wear smaller pants. I wanted to fit in an airplane seat next to my kids and not be squished next to two like 9 and 10-year-olds who were small. Because most of us are here for that, right? That's what I was. But let me ask you a better question. Do you want optimal health? Because that is what is available to you here. It's not just less weight, but more life, more energy, more peace, more confidence, more freedom, more time on this earth, more time with your grandkids, more time with your kids, more you. Because here's the truth, you're not just here to shrink. You're not. You're here to expand. You're here to take up space in your own life again, to lead yourself and to love yourself again. This is not just about getting skinny. This is not about eating fuelings. This is not about feeling restricted. This is not about losing yourself because of what the food used to make you feel and what it did for you. It's about getting free. So if you're here this morning with your camera off, not saying a word, just listening, that's okay, because that's exactly where I started. And I promise you that's enough. Showing up, even quietly, is powerful. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing. This community, this system, your coach, we're all here for you, but this story is yours to write. And I promise you, optimal health is possible. And like Dr. A says, it might seem like a fantasy, but it's not. If my coach would have said to me, "Do you want optimal health?" I would have been like, I don't know what that means. I just want to, lose some weight. But now I know, and I want you all to know that it's not just about a diet. It's not just about eating these feelings. It's truly just continuing and living your life as a healthy person until the day we're called home. That's it. And I'm living proof, and you can be too. So, anyways, for those of you who don't know, this is the Habits of Health book. This is what it looks like. And this is my life book. And I remember Melissa Tarleton used to, her life book, she used to hold this up. I think it was the life book. Oh gosh, now I can't remember. And she would have 80,000 tabs in here and she would like show us different pages and she would read it. And I was just like, this is amazing. This woman knows everything. So anyways, I just think if you just dive into those, just get, or if you don't want to, if you like the hard copies, buy them. But if you don't and you don't need it, it's seriously, it's right here on your phone. It's so easy. So anyways,
Steph, I found the picture. I'm going to share.
yes, that is me sitting on the porch. And my son was, it's actually a picture of my son that's like zoomed in and he's holding up this massive frog that him and my husband found in our pond. And he's just like so happy. And my husband's taking a picture of him. And like, there I am sitting on that bench that
I have that one too. Hold on. I
I
have
think
it.
I was afraid to sit on that bench, quite frankly, but there I was sitting on the bench.
Here, hold on. I got you. I got you. This is fun. Everybody needs to see this. I mean, y'all, how inspiring is Stephanie Koski? She's the best.
That was me. I mean, and I think that's what like makes me tear up a little bit too. It's like that was my life watching my children like that. And I think, I look at you mamas out there who were in your 20s or
What?
30s or younger. It's like I would have given anything for this plan at that point. Anything. Like I didn't know what to do. So you are lucky you are here. You are so freaking lucky you are here. So okay. I'm gonna